Hello viewers, I hope you guys are passing very good time. Today I'm gonna discuss about a very important issue, a continuous part of my rapport building sessions. So the different techniques, how you can assess the people's mind that will help you to increase the relationship among you and the others. That will be the techniques that is called NLP techniques. Today I will discuss about the NLP techniques in my sessions. So stay with me. And thank you everybody who have already subscribed my channel, and the person who are new in my channel would like to request you to subscribe my channel and activate the bell button to get the update notifications. Thank you and stay with me. Okay, very briefly, what is rapport? In my previous slides I have already talked about rapport. So rapport is basically a process of your willingness to communicate and share your values with others. This is basically a space of your matching your mental strength and the others. So NLP techniques for building a rapport. This is very important. Nowadays, if you can assess the persons from the very beginning, that will help you to know about the person and to know how to deal with the people. Sometimes we get some crazy people, sometimes we get some modest people. So if people are crazy and if you can understand his craziness, then you can set your mind or you can prepare yourself to deal the persons with you, because you need to deal with different types of people in the corporate world. So basically NLP refers to the Neuro Linguistics program. So there are three things: Neuro, Linguistics and programs. I will talk about the three factors of Neuro Linguistics program. It is the ability to see the other's point of view through the techniques. If you can understand the techniques, that will help you to find out the other's point of view and get them understand. So if you can find out the other's point of view and you can understand their feelings and emotions and others, that will help you to create a better rapport with them and to relate the others in a way that creates trust and understanding. That is very important to make a relationship. If you don't have the trust and understanding between you and the others whom you want to make the rapport, that will not be sustainable. So if you can at least create your trust and understandings, that means you are creating your acceptance among the people. That is very important. Okay, first of all, I will talk about the first factor of neuro. So what is neuro? Neuro, normally when you talk about the neuro, that means it's come from neuron. That means it's talk about the brain and mind. So something's neurological, that is neuro, the first factors of NLP techniques. So if you can understand the brain or if you can read the mind of others, that will help you to create the better rapport with these peoples. That means this is a psychological assessment. So there are three assessments. First assessment is psychological assessments through the brain and mind readings of a person's to make a relationships. So neuro concerns the brain and things that go on your mind, okay, and some other five senses five we have. It talks about it. What are the five senses? Sight, hearing, taste, smell, touch. So among these five senses and brain and what is going on others' mind, if you can assess the psychological factors of a person, that will help you to create a very good relationship with him. Secondly, linguistics. Linguistics refers to language. So language doesn't mean only the verbal language, it's a verbal and non-verbal language. Non-verbal language means body language. So body language, the first one was the psychological assessment and the second one is body language. So body language means, how the people speak, how they talk, that is an assessment. So you can get a perceptions about the people by assessing his body language. That is basically the outside assessment. So first assessment was psychological assessment through neuro assessment, and second one is outside assessment through the body language of others. So in the picture you see a street hawker is selling his products, and so many people are gathered there. So this person has his own linguistics or own body language to motivate the people to hear him and to buy the products what he is selling, regardless it is usable or non-usable, it is really good or bad. People are motivating to buy this. So this is happening because of his body language. Through his body language he can attract the people. So this is the outside assessment. So there is a linkage between outside assessment to the psychological assessment. Through your outside factors, your body language, you are getting the attractions of the people. That is basically they are hitting on their brain, their psychological factor. Number 3, that is the programming. It is all about the behavior and your thinking patterns, how you are thinking, how you are behaving. By observing these factors, someone can get the perceptions what type of people you are. So if we can get the informations of others' behavior and thinking patterns, and accordingly we can act with him, that will help us to make a very good relationships or a rapport. That means this is an inside assessment. So what is going on through your behavior? If you are a very crazy person, you behave like a crazy. If you are a very modest person, you are always cool and modest and polite. So assessing your inside factors, that will help you to make or to take the necessary actions to make your relationship. For an example, you get a customer who is always crazy, but you need the customers, you cannot lose your customers. So whenever you get these customers in your premises, you are well aware, yes, what type of customer is he, and you act accordingly. That will help you to make a good relationship with these customers. So through these discussions, I have discussed about 3 assessments: psychological assessment, outside assessments, and inside assessments. NLP techniques is basically these 3 types of assessments. If we can do the better assessment, we can find out the better way to make the better relationships with the people. So NLP is basically neuro, that is psychological assessment, linguistics, that is outside assessments or body language, and programming, that is inside assessment. So through NLP Rapport, we can create trust and understanding from the very beginning I'm talking about. If we can create the trust and understanding, then it is easy to make the relationship and even to sustain the relationship. If it is lack of trust and understanding, we may create a relationship, but that will not be sustainable. So how we can create the trust and understanding? Let's talk about it. Basically, we can assess people in 2 ways. We can see others in 2 ways. How? Number 1, we can find out the similarities between us. That means emphasizing on the similarities. And we can emphasize on the differences. What is the difference between me and the others? This is the 2 ways we can see people. And emphasizing on the similarities, that is very easy to find out, and that will help to establish the relationship in an easy way, in a short way. That means when you find out what are the similarities between myself and the others, then that will create a very good relationship. That will easy to find out. But if you try to find out the differences between you and the others, that will basically very hard to establish a rapport, because that is very negative, and emphasizing on the similarities, that is very positive. So if we can emphasize on the similarities, that will basically help to create the trust and understanding. if you can ensure the better trust and understanding, you will really able to create the better rapport. So NLP rapport basically creating trust and understanding. How? NLP rapport basically depends on the matching, what I have talked in my first slide. So matching basically depends on three types: body posture, language patterns, belief and values. So what is body posture? For an example, when you talk to a little child, how we talk to them? We normally cross down to the child's side or height and talk very slowly. Why? Because to get the attentions of the baby. So that is your body posture. Number 2, language patterns. Your body language or body posture is unusual. However, matching can seem disrespectful. Delicacy is vital. If something is suspicious, people can find out very easily. So that is come through your language pattern. That is come through your body language. Then belief and values. Always try to understand another person's belief and value without any judgment. I'm not talking about like you need to agree with all the values and beliefs of others, but don't misunderstand it. Don't ignore this, and don't create any bad judgment on the beliefs and values of others. If you do so, you will not be able to create any deep relationships with the persons. So through our eye pattern, we can sometimes assess what is going on inside my mind. Sometimes we are moving our eyes in certain situation. So when we can understand what is going on in his mind by observing his or her eye pattern, then we will be able to understand what is going on in his mind. Then we can act accordingly. Let's say this is an eye. On the top outer side of the eye, that is called visual construct VC, and inner sides of the top eye section, that is visual remembered VR. In middle, auditory construct and auditory remembered on the inner right hand side, inner side. And this is kinesthetic, and that one is auditory digital. These are the 6 parts of of our human eyes. So through observing the eye pattern, we can easily assess what is going on inside the mind. How? Generally speaking, some people do not agree with this. If a person is looking down, in practical life you may match what is I am talking about. When a person is looking down to their right, they are assessing emotion. When people are emotional, about to cry, normally when they want to lead, they normally looking down to their right. So when you see someone is looking down to their right, that means you need to understand, yes, they are assessing or they are controlling their emotion. That means the guy is emotional. Then you can act accordingly. Okay, down to the left, if they say down to the left, they are doing self-talk. That means they are talking by themselves. Up to the right, if they are say up to the right, that means they are remembering an image. They are remembering something. When you ask someone a question, maybe instantly they cannot answer the question, but if they try to remember the fact, they normally see up to the right. So by using this information, you can get the mental pattern or what is going on inside the human body. You can assess it very clearly and you can act accordingly.